Yes, indeed, folks. The sounds of Kenny Rogers, not something that usually graces, quote-unquote, my stream, something of a metal man myself. My name's Total Biscuit. This is my show, Blue Please, and we have the one and only special guest in the form of Fargo.
Hey. You know, it occurs to me we didn't give away the URL to Flintlock. If people go to gamespy.com/Flintlock, FLINTLOCKE, they'll get the last comic in the strip, and then they can click the beginning button and go check it out.
And they'll be there for weeks, by the looks of it. The amount of archives you've got there is quite crazy.
There's hundreds of pages.
Excellent. So if you're bored at work or anywhere else, in fact, that would be the place to go. Go check out Flintlock so that you know what the hell we're talking about. Does generally help when you're about 15 minutes into the interview. Now, I have some questions, and I'm sure you are very eager to divulge some information about what is coming up. So I'm just going to leave the floor open to you. I'm going to let you spill your guts for everyone here and tell them what's coming up, particularly on the 1st of September.
Yeah, so September 1st, we're unleashing a new comic, and again, it's done with in-game screenshots and model viewer art from World of Warcraft. And a lot of sort of the most requested thing I got was people wanted a Horde comic. I mean, Flintlock was all about the Alliance, and we all know they're weenies and midgets. We don't like them. None of us do. So, what's coming September 1st is a comic strip that I'm calling Flintlock versus the Horde, and we're really kind of looking at the whole thing from the Horde's perspective now, and meeting some characters there. One thing I always try and do with the comics is the characters in the comics really kind of represent the different types of people that play the game, the different types of people that you run across with when you play the game, and how they interact with the game world. And so I really try and bring that into the characters in the strip. So you'll see, you'll meet the power gamer. You'll meet our main character, who's actually trying desperately to role play. He wants to stick within the world and really role play an orc. And of course, what I find a lot of humor in is I put people together in a group in the strip that would never ever adventure together in real life. The types of players that you saw in Flintlock, Flintlock and Bloodrose and the Doc. They would never play together for more than 5 minutes. They'd just be on each other's nerves, and that's kind of actually where a lot of the humor comes from. In fact, one of the characters in the original strip was a Chinese gold farmer who wasn't actually at his keyboards. He was just running scripts and macros entirely. He was one of the most popular characters, even though he was never actually at his keys. So I'm really going to be exploring that from the Horde perspective. Got a few new player types. There's some people that you're going to kind of recognize as your friends. You're going to see that.
Excellent. Now, we've got some listener questions. So are you ready for some quick-fire question action?
Yeah, I really want to do this live so I can talk to people.
Excellent. Right, well, we've got some questions coming in, and if you want to ask a question, get in IRC. That's irc.mmoirc.com, hash or pound, depending on which country you happen to be, WOW Radio, or click the chat button at the top of our screen, wcradio.com. You've got a little bit of time. You can message them to MT, Cooked Auto, or Zephyrek on IRC. Now, here's our starter for 10. This is from Thuran. This is a question for Fargo. Do you still actively play Flintlock, and will we be seeing him in Northrend?
You'll absolutely be seeing Flintlock in Northrend. I guess the only question is, can I get my Horde up to level 70 in time to before the expansion, or am I going to play as Flintlock? Yeah, I haven't played Flintlock for the last few weeks because I kind of been focused on my Horde characters because, hey, they're the subject of the new comic. But yeah, he's on the Uther server, and he'll probably pop in. And actually, one of the more fun things about when I actually play is people either yell at me for not being original with my name, which I get a kick out of, or they say, "Are you the Flintlock?" And then I get to say yes, which is awesome.
Yeah, been there with "Are you the Total Halibut?" But I think we'll go into that later. Right, here we go. We've got one from Effigy. Are the characters in the comic inspired by real players or their characters, or are there any funny stories to do with these choices? So I'm guessing it's about the personalities of the characters rather than the actual models.
Yeah, absolutely. So originally, I mean, I didn't know how long I would do the comic. I was just sort of started as a one-off thing that I eventually turned into a feature. But, the original characters were all my friends from the LAN parties. The fellow who played as the Doc, as the priest in the original Flintlock, he actually works for Blizzard nowadays. He's a pretty important guy at Blizzard, which is kind of cool. And they didn't really play that way. I just sort of took an aspect of their personality and made it into a whole character. So the girl who plays Blood Rose in our group, she's a power gamer, I'd say so. Maybe not quite to that extreme. Certainly when the guy played our priest, he did not run away from every battle, but that just struck me as being funny. If that was kind of the core of the characters, every time he tried to heal us, well, we were terrible players for a long time. He would cast a heal, and all the monsters would aggro on him and just destroy him. And we would stand there going, "Wow, look, he just got killed." I wasn't a very good tank, frankly. Okay. Right, and so, but we made that part. The blessing in disguise there was that just became a great element for the comic strip. If a priest just is afraid to heal anything. And that became the core of his character. He sent me an email after one of the strips ran. He's like, "Are you mad at me?" And I'm like, "No, dude, it's not you. It's just a character. It's not really you." But yeah, so there are in a lot of the cases there are real people behind that. There's no real person behind Low Ping, which I guess is part of the appeal.
Well, yeah,
Low Ping,
that's the gag, isn't it?
Yeah, Low Ping being the guy who's played entirely through scripts and macros. But there you go.
Fair enough. Now, I've got a question from Dusk, and he says, how do you feel about being immortalized in the Burning Crusade with the Flintlocks piloting pants from Hellfire?
That was fantastic. Actually, there was a series of episodes in Flintlock where he's flying a dirigible out of control and crashing it. So the fact that you got Flintlock's piloting pants at the dirigible crash site just really warmed my heart. It meant that somebody somewhere was paying attention. I really loved that. Yeah, it's fun to go on to Thoughtbot and see how many people caught on to the reference and Thoughtbot or Wowhead or any of the sites. And yeah, I thought that was fantastic. I really that just made me smile ear to ear when Flintlock got his pants are famous.
Yes, I mean,
and they're good pants too.
More, really, it's kind of like a life achievement there. Now, we've got a question here from Zandrodus, and he says, "Where did you get the idea for the Chuck shot?"
The Chuck shot. I wish I could say I was walking along someday and saw somebody firing a woodchuck out of a musket, but it just doesn't happen that way. I'm not really sure where I came up with the idea.
You stole it from a book, didn't you?
What's that?
You stole it from a book, didn't you? Just like my name.
Yeah. I'm sure animals have been launched out of cannons in all the great works of literature since the beginning of time. I can't say where I came up with it. It just seemed like something Flintlock would do, because he's a warrior who acts like a hunter. What would he do? He would launch animals out of a cannon. Of course he would. He's a dwarf. That's exactly what he does. And it would be immensely offensive to the night elf character, I thought, to fire animals out of a cannon, which of course is just part of the fun.
Absolutely. Now, question from Gimbal here. What is your favourite character in the entire series?
Well, it's a Sophie's Choice right there. Look at that cultural reference. Look at that. That was an Academy Award-winning movie. I elevated the whole show with that, didn't I?
Yeah, that went straight over my head. It was great. I felt the breeze
Good.
past.
Good. I think for me it's probably Schweitzer, the name of the priest, because he goes through such a change throughout the series. I mean, he starts off as one thing, and when that joke got old, they kind of took him in a new direction, and by the end of the show, you can do anything with that character, and people, it would just work. He was cracking me up by the end. He gets a disproportionate share of the punchlines, I think, because there was so much I could do with him. So he probably turned out to be my favorite.
Excellent. Now, I've got one from Trox here, and he says, you seem to understand dwarves pretty well, beards, booze, and explosions. Are you a role player in-game?
Yeah, it's so hard to roleplay in World of Warcraft. I mean, I guess you have RP servers, and I haven't really joined them. That might be a lot of fun to try sometime. But it's really hard to stay in character because so much of the game is about the game mechanics, and nobody around you is staying in character. So you really can't. Once you start, I mean, I occasionally type little when I talk to other players. Kind of, there's a little bit of a dwarvish thing kind of creeps in. Oh, that kind of thing. But beyond that, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot to do. Now, I guess I do roleplay in the fact that I just blow stuff up when it's absolutely inappropriate. I mean, when the monster's almost dead, I'm dropping the biggest bomb, and it's possibly killing other players if it's like a goblin landmine. I'm just doing it anyway because I just love it. So.
Excellent. Now, you might be aware of a very special event that we've been doing over the past couple of weeks, and it goes by the name of the Pass the Torch contest. And I'm to understand that you're going to help us pick the winners today.
I think I am. I'm going to go to that website you just sent me right now.
Yep. We have this is a kind of an English reference. We have a web tombola here.
A tombola?
Yes, a tombola. It sounds Mexican, but it really isn't. It's like this really large roll thing. It's like a tube which is sealed, and you put all the entries in it, and you have a handle on the side of it, and you turn it around, and you make it spin, and then you stick your hand in it, and you pick out the entries. So it's like a web version of that, only not quite as interesting. It's great. Now, there are 20 WWI cards to give away, so there are going to be 20 winners, and we have a phrase, a secret phrase that we've been giving out over the past couple of weeks. We've spread it over a number of shows, and there are a load of people who got it right, several thousand in fact, and the phrase was, Wrath of Khan is epic, and I've been told that you can do a very good Khan, Fargo.
Who told you that?
I don't know. I think Sluggo did it. Blame him.
I'm still at work right now, so I'm going to shout Khan, and then people are going to come running to my office to fire the torpedoes. Ready?
Sounds good.
All right. You got to cue me in. You got to go buried alive, buried alive,
buried alive, buried alive.
Khan!
That's not bad. I'll give you that. I give that a good solid 4 out of 5 there.
Okay, good. I mean, that's because I'm competing with Emmy Award-winning William Shatner, and that's very difficult.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, now we have some winners for you.
Sluggo is sending me IMs right now. He's like, WTF. What just happened over there?
It's probably best not to say anything. Right, now, we've got these contestants here, so I'm going to pick the first one. We're going to go backwards and forwards until we've done 20. Okay? So cool. I'm going to announce the first one, and the winner of the first WWI card is Scott Forleone, I believe. Yes, that is Scott Forleone, and of course the answer to that is Wrath of Khan is epic. So, next winner, over to you, Fargo.
All right, now, this fellow, he got it, Wrath of Khan is epic, Michael Shannon.
Excellent. That's a
Michael Shannon. Now, do I click on valid here so he wins?
Yes, you do. Click on valid so he wins. Don't click the other button. Good. That's not a good idea
okay.
at all.
Mike, you're in good shape.
Absolutely. Now, the next winner is Mike Weber with Wrath of Khan is epic. Very well done to Mike Weber.
Then we have David Cutler. Good job, David. I'm clicking the valid button.
Yeah, you do that. Be nice to him, absolutely. Now, the next winner we have is a Ryan... I can't pronounce this at all, so I'm going to give it a try. Ryan Lamacher. And the start of his email address is iced tea is good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
I like iced tea. All right, next up we got Steve Cox. Congratulations, Steve Cox.
Excellent. And next up we have Jared Corbett. Very well done to Jared Corbett.
Then we got Ross West.
Excellent. That's a
nice
Ross
job.
West on there. And the next one, I'm going to try and suppress a giggle because this is very immature. Daniel Cockrum.
Look, I kept a straight face for Steve Cox. Certainly.
Yes, Cockrum. Very well done to you.
All right. And this guy gets bonus points because he said Wrath of Khan is epic. Epic was in all caps. That's Billy Lewis. Billy Lewis. Epic.
Very well done. And we've got one from Scott Hertzberg. Wrath of Khan is epic. Very well done to you.
Wow, I hope I pronounced this right. It's Joachim Norster. Norstr? Yeah.
Wow, that's
Norster?
Fancy stuff there. We've got a very cosmopolitan listenership right now.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, excellent. Next one coming up, it's Ed Hill. Ed Hill, congratulations. You are the winner of a WWI card.
Okay, Total Biscuit, I guess, how come you get the name Ed Hill and I get the name...
Go on, give it a try.
Wojciech Tomaszewski.
What?
Tomaszewski. Wojciech Tomaszewski. Dude, you are epic, and I'm clicking valid right now. You're in, and now we can all see your name.
Oh, that's great. And we have a Matthew McMullen as a winner. Congratulations to you.
All right. Are we still drawing? How are we doing?
We are. Let's see what we're on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've got 5 more to go.
5 more to go. One of those lucky 5 is Miguel Couto. Or Couto. I'm sorry, Miguel Silva. I was reading his email because I'm a moron. Miguel Silva! Oh, he's got a strange email. Go figure. All right, he's valid, though.
Excellent. Bartok Kozuk, I believe, with KSOK. Very well done to you.
Shannon von Zerpolo. Wow, this is a cosmopolitan
Really?
list. This is fantastic.
That a real name? Because that's like the best
Shannon
name
von
for a name.
Zerplo.
That's excellent. I want him to like have a cape and a crown to live in a castle somewhere.
That's
would be
definitely a supervillain.
Absolutely. And our next one is Mark Edge, who sounds like a bit of an action hero there.
All right. Am I drawing another one here?
Got one more, I think.
One more. All right. Dennis Jensen.
Dennis Jensen. Excellent.
And his
Very
email
well
is
done.
Hands on Fire.
Hands on Fire.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He
Well,
is
there you
on
go. And I think that is it, to be honest. And if we missed one more, then I'll announce it towards the end of the show. We'll get it sorted out. We're not very good at counting here on WoW Radio. We're just good at being incredibly talented and charismatic.
Dennis Jensen would be number 20.
Yes, he would.
Yeah.
And I think we're pretty much done, aren't we?
Yeah. I'm
all.
sorry, Henry. Your name was drawn 21st.
Oh, don't say the second name.
I'm not saying the second name, yeah,
That would
but
be-
say,
that would
to
be-
all Henrys out there.
Yes, indeed. Okay, guys, thank you very much for entering, and thank you, Fargo, for appearing on the show today. Any last-minute shout-outs before we end?
No, that was a lot of fun. Word to all my homies on Uther. Can I say homies on the air?
Yeah,
All right.
we'll go with that. Excellent. Coming up after the break, we have... I don't have time for anything else except to play Nubcake News, and I will be singing a song, I kid you not. I will be singing a song written by our one and only Terpster, and it's called Wow Prose, to the tune of Nickelback's Rockstar. So we'll be right back after this with some Nubcake News and a song, and that'll be the end of the show, folks. Again, Fargo, thank you very, very much for coming on the air. You're listening to Blue Please. My name is Total Biscuit.
Sweet.
That was the one and only Fargo, and this is Iron Maiden.